Awesome. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's call. You're joining a conversation already in progress. And so tonight we're just kind of hanging out, and we'll do more of these conversations where it's less of a presentation where somebody's presenting FSTSwap and presenting the project that we're all involved in. I think for the most part, it seems like the attendees of these calls that we're holding for now are familiar with the project. And so part of what we're going to really focus on is helping to understand the broader implications of the project that we're involved in. We've got DeFi Max with us this evening, and so we're going to spend some time this evening talking about two projects that launched recently on FSTSwap. One that we've talked about quite a bit that we know is something we're really excited about. That's Jockey Club. Sorry, let me change devices. Can you guys hear me okay? Just give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. Okay, perfect. So the first one is Jockey Club, which is one of the first DeFi projects in the FSTSwap ecosystem. And the second is a new project that's just launching called Tomato. And so we're going to spend some time just helping everybody on the call that is interested to understand a little bit more about these projects and really the broader takeaway and the reason why these conversations are important, why we're going to have this kind of sit around the table meeting style discussion is that I think most of us here understand the projects. We understood the OSK, FIS, FON story, and we're here. And so we're at a place where in order to build a healthy ecosystem and to really take this project to the next level, we're at a place where it requires other projects to come into the ecosystem, other developers to see value. And so our perspective really has to, at this point, broaden beyond the original tokens that we hold. They'll always be central to the ecosystem, but their value really depends on what builds around them. FIS's value is in how healthy of a DEX do we have? Are there other projects that are using it? Is it in high demand based on its need for circulation? And so understanding the importance of other projects coming onto the platform is where that's a huge part of why FIS is gonna drive its value. The fund that we're staking is for a blockchain that's yet to come. That blockchain only works if we're able to build a healthy ecosystem of people and projects and developers that will value having their own blockchain and all that can mean in the future of this project. So these are really building blocks. Many of us that are on the call were part of early stages of the building a healthy community, building a healthy liquidity pool, building belief in some of these initial tokens. And now we're taking it to the next level, really laying a foundation to do something that allows us to become a Binance of the world, potentially. And so today's call, we're going to keep it light and casual. Please feel free to jump in, ask questions wherever you like. We're going to talk about Jockey Club. A couple of folks on the call have been playing Jockey Club, so they're going to share their experiences. We'll do some screen share so you guys can actually see exactly what's involved. Help you understand why, if you don't understand why GameFi is hot, what's in it for you. We'll talk about all of those things. And then another project that's called Tomato that's a little bit different, and DeFi Max is going to explain some of the benefits of Tomato, what that project is all about. I believe Carlos is on the call. He's participating in that as well. And so we want to introduce you guys to those projects, answer some questions, invite you to participate if it's something that intrigues you. But at the very least, that you walk away from today's call with an appreciation for the growth and evolution of the FSTSwap ecosystem. So Max, I'm going to turn it over to you if you don't mind. Can you just give us a high-level overview of Jockey Club, what it's all about, and then you can take it from there.
All right. So good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's call. And as David introduced, we're going to talk about Jockey Clubs tonight. And so Jockey Club is like, if you guys have been following to the English channels, that the Fong English Telegram channel, right? So I've been posting a lot of stuff relating to Jockey Clubs. So this fund, like this is a node on FSTSwap, right? And they're what they're doing is they're bringing a lot of game developers, so they're game oriented nodes, right? So they bring a lot of game developers and games on board, right? So this Jockey Club is one of the first one that they introduce, and there'll be a lot more coming. So tonight, just very simple introduction about this Jockey Club, and we'll be able to share through screen sharing from somebody else, right? So Jockey Club is a P2E play to earn game on FSTSwap, and so in here you're able to buy horse from the market that was recently launched. And so if you guys missed the uh horse buying, like horse sales, you can buy it from the market right now. And then so this game is about racing your horse, and then through this game you can race your horse against an NPC. So they call that PvE, player versus environment. Or you can participate in a tournament fashion game where you can go up against the players in a similar fashion, and then prizes are rewarded according to how well you do in a game. So like right now, a lot of a lot of new functions are being introduced. One of the newest functions is that you'll be able to replay the games with a click of a button, so it doesn't get repetitive, and you can free your hands. I really want to talk about this as we're sharing this game, right? So either Doris or Carlos, are you guys able to share this? So we can kind of just talk about it, because this is kind of
Oh, okay, I can share my screen.
Yeah.
Let's go racing. Hang on. Oops. Start.
Now, as Doris is trying to start her game, right? Like obviously we're not just in it for the game. We're also here to earn money. So this is a login screen, and then you'll be able to log in through a QR code on the website, and they have a dedicated app for either iOS or Android. So as we can see here, Doris has a lovely Arabian horse, and then it's a 2-star. So it's a very common. As you can see, it's very active. So you can see all the stats pertaining to the horse right there on the right side. So these stats are corresponding to how fast your horse is, what are their endurance, and how long they can keep this race up if they were to race in a longer race, right? And then as you can see there on the other side, it's separated into racehorse and stallion. So racehorse are the horses that participate in the racing game, whereas stallion are the ones that you use to breed little ponies. So right now, if Doris, you can click into the race, and then we will be able to see how it functions. So as you can see, these challenges are PvE battles. Okay, so these are players versus environment. So you play, you set your horse, and you play against other computers, and then depending on how well you do, you'll be able to earn a lot of jocks. So as you can see here, Doris has pocketed 3,300 jocks over here. So if Doris, you can start a race and then show them how it's done. So right here, there's an entrance fee. We are able to do 3 free races per day, and then any race after the 3 are requires an entrance fee. So these entrance fee are obviously calculated in jocks, which is the tokens that we're using for this game. Okay, and then
Yes.
yeah,
Start.
so we can start. So once you start, right, you be pitted against 5 other horses, right, in the 6-lane battles. And then as the countdown counts down, you'll be able to see how well we do.
Okay, go, 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 go.
You guys
Actually,
can
there's
cheer.
music and all. You can't hear the music, right? Can you?
So as you can see, Doris, of course, she's in the inner corner, obviously. So she's a little bit behind, but as you can see, there's a big corner coming up. She'll be able to cut into the corners and overtake all these horses very soon, right? See, there you go.
Yep. Go, go,
And
go.
She's going 24 miles, like 24 meters per
Come on,
second.
come on, come on.
Very fast, very fast. Okay, so obviously,
Oh, come on, come on, come on. Okay,
as
second.
you can see, okay, throughout a minute, okay,
Okay.
a minute of race. So
Okay, so
Doris,
second.
if you can
Cupcake
stay,
set. Yep.
on this screen for a second.
Yep.
So right now, as we can see, Doris has ranked in the 2nd place, and if you press the next page, right, it shows your learning, right?
Yep. You want me to press?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay.
Hey Doris.
Okay,
So as
27.
Hey Doris, can you
Yes.
turn the music off or down? It's
Oh,
a little
is it?
hard to
Oh,
hear over the
okay. I can't really hear on my my side the music. Okay. Is it better?
Okay.
It's still pretty
Yeah.
loud.
Okay.
So, guys,
Okay.
obviously you can see the reward for 2nd place is 27 tokens, right? So the entrance fee is 11. So you do the math and you get 16 jocks just from that one race. And then right now on the market, 1 jock is equal to 15 cents. So 16 jocks times 15 cents, you just got what? Like you just got a little bit over $2 from that one race. Okay, so Doris was able to gain $2.40 just from that one race alone. All right, so if you guys do the math, she can do like at least 40 times throughout the course of one day before before the diminishing return starts to kick in, right? Where you earn less coins per race. But think about it, one race just like that, over a minute, she was able to gain like $2.4. So like
Yes.
right now, like we just demonstrated like the earning potential of these play to earn games, right? So Doris, if you can click into, I guess, breed.
Breathe.
Yeah. So as you can see, they also got a breed function. If you are just starting out, right, and then you wanted to get more horses, obviously you would get a horse from the racing side, and you will get a stallion, which is a breeding horse, on the other side. Obviously, they have to be opposite gender, and you're able to breed a horse, a little bit pony. Okay, so you have a chance to fail. You're able to increase that chance with that magic grass, which you can buy from the store. It costs a little bit over 300 jocks, but you're gaining jocks from these coins, right? Yeah. So on the right side, it's super grass. It costs what, 300 exactly. Okay, 300 jocks exactly. And then You also require to purchase a breed card, which is it costs 800 jocks, but you're able to gain that much back just like with like couple races on your own. So throughout like couple of days, you're able to make your initial investment back. If people bought a horse from the NFT sales. What else? Yeah, like you guys, anybody else want to share like I guess their experience?
Can we take a quick look at the marketplace?
Yeah, let's take a quick look on the marketplace. Let's see.
Hang on. So I can start and share.
And Doris, you're able to share that page, right? The marketplace that I just sent, or did you stop sharing?
I think she's pulling it up.
Oh,
I stopped sharing, but I can pull it up.
yeah, if you can, because I am on my phone and I don't have my computer in front of me.
I'm on my phone also, so I
Oh.
hope it works.
Yeah,
Let's try.
usually I do the
Yeah.
calls over my computers. I'm
Okay.
much more familiar with that.
Okay. Okay, does it work like this?
Yeah, totally. So right
Okay.
now, if you head to the Jockey Clubs online, right, and you are able to see all these courses, and obviously there is a function that ranks the horse, right, either from highest to lowest in terms of price, or from the star, right. So as you can see, there are horses with the crown. So that means the horse is a breeder. Okay, so they are not for racing. They cannot race, and their sole purpose is to breed a stronger horse. Okay, so and then the ones with stars are the racing horse. So obviously, the more star the horse has, the better the horse is, right? The better their stats going to be. So right now, as you can see, there is like we can see like there are 2-star, 3-star, and 4-star. Oh, that just refreshed. Doris, can you go back to the last page?
This one?
Okay, yeah. So we can just stay on here for a little bit.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So it just happens that this page has all the horses, right? So you got your 2-star, you got your 3-star, and you got your 4-star, and also a breeder, right? So right now, as you can see, the breeder, obviously, the ones that make little ponies worth a lot of money, right? Because they can only be bought from the initial NFT sales, and there's no other ways of getting them. Other than through breeding. So there's a very small chance that when people breed their horse, you're able to get another breeder. And obviously, the more star the horse has, the more expensive they're going to get. But as Doris just demonstrated, right, with her 2-star horse, she was able to get like the second place, and then you'll be able to earn a lot of points from there. And then through that one race, she was able to get $2.4 just from that one race alone. Okay, and then you'll be able to do multiple races during throughout the course of a day. And obviously, the better your horse is, the more race you can do. Right, so that's pretty much about it. Like you can find a lot of good deals here. I'm sure these prices are going to go down as more people start to breed horses, as these horses start to populate the market. So, but the earlier you start playing, the better. I guess the earlier you can start get your earnings back, get your investment back. So there's obviously a trade-off. So it very much depends on what you guys decided to do. And then I'm just gonna talk a little bit about what's being planned ahead, right? So right now I am in the other community, which is like the developer is answering question in these Chinese community, because this is a Chinese developer. And then these developers are very professional. So they introduced this horse racing game not too long ago. I think it's about like a week ago or 2 weeks. And then they were able to, through community feedbacks, they were able to patch a lot of the glitches and stuff. They were able to eliminate that. And then we have introduced a lot of new functions. And then the upcoming one is a very big update, which introduced the club to the horse racing game. So within a club, they haven't told us a lot of details about the function of the club, but from what I've gathered, it's most likely going to be a gathering hub for the players. So if you're participating in the game, obviously you can join different clubs, and obviously there will be some perks pertaining to the club members, and uh, uh, and then it looks like that clubs are able to participate in battles or races against other clubs, and obviously there will be prize involved, and that's what's coming. And also in right now we're in 1.0 of the game. In 2.0, they're going to introduce functions such as you're able to bring your own avatar, uh, uh, like the person who rides on the horse. You're able to customize that, and then you're able to upload your own pictures and everything. And harnesses, horseshoes, and other accessories can be bought to improve the ability of your horse. So harnesses can obviously you can gain more control. Horseshoes, you can gain more speed for the horse. So they will fare better against other horses in PvP or PvE games. Okay, so obviously like these are all upcoming, and like it's a very exciting time to be investing in these games. So as you can see there, if you guys haven't like had a chance to look at this, I would advise you to look into it, or join the English Telegram channel. I'll be posting a lot of updates about this Jockey Club games in there, and then you guys will be hearing the newest updates after I get them. What else? David, do you have anything to add?
Max, can you talk a little bit about the oh man, I had a question for you. Can you talk a little bit about I have the words, but I'm trying to think where I wanted you to go with it.
Can I stop share right now?
Yes, you can. Thanks,
Okay,
Doris.
thank
Can you talk about so for somebody that's seeing Jockey Club for the first time and not sure how to get started, what does it cost for somebody to just buy a horse, get started? I know we probably could have looked at that in the marketplace, but general idea. What's the cost to buy a horse and just try this out?
Right now, I actually did some calculation, right? So if you were to look at the web page that Doris just opened, right? So right now the market is obviously live. You guys can check it out, right? If you click into the website we were just in, right? And then if you rank them or you filter these scores by, I guess we'll go back the lowest cost. Okay, so let's see if I can share my screen and then figure the math. How do I filter this one?
All right, while Max pulls that up for us, so just again, for a few people that joined us after we got started, what we're excited about here, why we're spending time talking about Jockey Club, isn't to convince everybody that you should play Jockey Club, although I think it probably would be cool if you did, because it gives you an appreciation for the breadth of this project beyond what we've been focused on, beyond FIST, Fund, OSK, PGNFTs. We're starting to see real utility, other people that have a project, that have a dream, that have a vision to do something, and they see value in pairing that with our community. And our ability to understand those projects is going to give us a story that we can tell. And DeFi is a really different story than the one that we've been telling. It's a story we can tell to an entirely different audience, entirely different generation. Like you guys who have children or know people who have children that they're into gaming, here's an opportunity to maybe introduce a parent to something that they could, it can be a bridge for them to do together in the world of crypto, where their kids are playing a very simple game. Today, it's going to add some additional elements that will bring strategy into it, but they can actually learn while they're playing and earning, and now it becomes an event that the family can participate in together. So this really does create a bridge into a whole new world of conversations that allows us to talk about FSTSwap. And as we do that, as we introduce more and more people to this ecosystem, it just solidifies our own investment in these core tokens.
Hey, David. I was just on. I think the mobile version of the marketplace, right? It's not right now. It's not optimized for the mobile version, so there isn't a filter where you can just rank the horses by I guess the lowest price. But obviously I can share, like we can share the links and you guys can check it out on your computer. But if I talk from my memory, right, I think the lowest price for a 1-star horse is around 8,000 jocks. So if you translate that into how much that is in FIST, which is the token that they're pairing up with, right? That's about 74 FIST, okay? 74, 75-ish, okay? That's how much it costs for them to participate in a game right now.
Got it. Okay. So
okay,
anywhere from low hundreds to a couple $100. I think if we start getting into the 2-3 star horses, for like $200-300, somewhere in that range, right?
After fresh wax.
Yeah, and then I saw I saw these breeder going for as much as $2,000. Okay, so initially, it only costs 200 FIST, right? If you guys participate in the NFT sales, but what's past is past, like the past is the past, right? So right now, if we are getting into the game, it costs around 75 FIST to participate, and then you're able to start racing. So like Doris, if you are able to gain second place, obviously you just got $2 from that. Because right now each jock is sitting around 0.15 cents, right? So if you do your math, it's around $2 per race. And then if you're able to gain first place, obviously it's even more, right? And then and even if you are, let's say you come in at fifth or fourth, like fourth or fifth place, you're able to break even or gain a little bit by just racing. Okay, so I think it's not a bad trade-off if you participate early, and then you can definitely get into the game like for 1 minute, right? You think about it, 1 minute, you're able to get $2. So what kind of job gives you that opportunity, right? Think about it. Yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say, because Doris has already demonstrated to you guys.
And that was a 2-star horse. So
yes,
your 3 stars, 4 stars, and so forth are likely to get more consistent, higher finishes. And in terms of timing, one of the things that is, we'll talk about the window of time that we're in now, and the degradation of the horses, like that they're not aging at the moment. So in terms of participating in the game right now, can you talk a little bit about what that means?
Okay, so definitely. So right now, in this game, right, the devs has created a system, obviously much like the real world. Our horses or any other animals ages, right? So like we do. So obviously in the game, they have some kind of mechanics that ages the horse, right? So how they do that in the game is they have a point system. So each horse starts with 0 point system, and then as they participate in these races or as you feed them, right? Any kind of these activities will gain points on these on the scale. So once a horse reaches a certain point, right? I believe 10,000 is the cap. Uh, they might change that, they might not, right? So once the horse reach 10,000, they die basically. So they follow the rules of the nature, they die. So, but instead of the real world, the real world horses, we have a chance. We have a item, okay, which you can buy, and then you're able to raise your horse back from the dead for once, okay, and then you'll be able to do that with certain items, and also if your horse are below 8 stars, right? See, the highest stars are 8 stars, and the lowest is 1 star. So right now the highest is like being like the highest stars in the game are 4 stars. So we're like everybody is around the same level. So let's say if one of your horse is very close to dying, and then if you have another horse that are of the similar star level, later down in the game, you can combine these two horses of the same star level for a chance to get a horse of a higher star level. So, for instance, if I have two stars horses, I am able to combine them into one 3-star horse. So that way, it kind of you kind of elongate your horse life expectancy by kind of combining them into a more powerful version of the horse. Okay, so that's what we can do in a game, and then that way you'll be able to save money as well as participate with your beloved horse in the same game. Okay, and your horse will be able to do your biddings again. Okay, so that's a part we can expect, and how the age factor plays into the game. But with that said, right now at the 1.0 stage, the dev have not introduced that system into the game. So right now is a very good opportunity for everybody to participate in the game. Okay, so right now, whatever you do, it doesn't matter how many races that you do, it doesn't age the horse at all. So right now, this system is not in the game. It will be introduced later down later down. I think in 2.0 version, but right now, as a benefit for the initial people who supported the project, or people and the people who supported the game, they have decided to let the first people to experience this benefit, okay, of like ageless horse. Yeah, so pretty much you can do whatever you want right now. Yeah. Anything else that you guys want to add?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think that's a huge benefit. Essentially, you're almost racing for free, and that's a limited time opportunity. I want to circle back to something you said a moment ago that's going to lead us into our next discussion. And you talked about getting in early. So a couple of folks that are on the call that are participating in Jockey Club were able to secure their horses in an NFT sale. And so they got in early, and there's some benefits. I think it goes without saying that there's some benefits if we can get into projects early. And then one of the benefits for us, those of us who are plugged into the FSTSwap project and ecosystem, we're participating on calls like this, is that we get the benefit of seeing some things that are coming and some things that are in pre-launch. And so we have the option of being able to gather together and kind of talk about it. I'm going to say this once again, we're going to do a lot more of these these kind of fireside chat format calls where it's really not a presentation. We're just going to come together, help each other get an understanding of things that are happening in the project. We're going to learn together, grow together, try things together, and then hopefully come away with some great stories about this amazing project. So in terms of getting in early, there's another project that there's an opportunity to participate fairly early, and totally different from the GameFi that we just talked about, project called Tomato. Max, can you just kind of give us a kind of broad overview of what Tomato is all about and take it from there?
Okay, so this project, right, it kind of started really interesting because I was looking at the white paper of this project, and then the tokenomic is very different from all the other projects I've seen. And then so this morning they ended their IDO, so initial DEX offering, and they just brought it on FSTSwap, and the results has been astounding. So if we can look at the let me if I can pull it up here. Let me share the screen real quick. Green. David, can you see my screen?
Yep, we can. It's coming.
Yeah. All right. So if you guys look at this, right? So we started this morning, and then it went from less than 1 point, like they're around less than $1.9. It's right now trending at $15.8. Okay, so that's what $2. That's an 8x from the start. Okay, so 8x from the IDO. So if you guys bought it this morning, right? Let's say if you invested $100, you will be sitting in $800 right now, in the evening. Okay, so so that's just the power of these IDOs, or initial earning potentials of IDOs. So we really want to not just this project, but a lot of other projects that are coming, right? So we're getting these firsthand information, and we're like the projects to come, and we're able to share with you guys. And then if you guys have been following, you'll be able to buy these at the starting cost, and then you'll be making your initial earning back in a snap of finger. Like, it's easy as that, right? So like it's very simple, as you can see from our graph. So this is very interesting. The tokenomic behind this token is that they are pairing with this. The Tomato is pairing with this, as you can see in the liquidity pool below, right? So 672 tomato, 672,000 tomatoes to 6.5 million fists, right? So initially the tomato was worth about 1 tomato equal to 0.45 fists. But right now, because of the tokenomics, it has grown like how many, like this is what almost 10 times, right? Yeah, the almost 10x. from the initial offering. So like as you can see, these tokenomics are very interesting. So the devs, after their IDO, they decided to let go of their privilege of the liquidity pool. Okay, so they sent it to the black hole. They abandoned the contract, so nobody has access, or nobody has admin privilege to the liquidity pool. And then for people who bought it at IDO, all of their initial investments are locked for 200 days, and it's being released at 0.5% per day, okay, through a 200 days period. So through 200 days, they'll be getting 100% of their initial investments. So the benefit of that is this is an anti-dump mechanism. So for people who bought a lot of it at the start, they are unable to pump and dump. Okay, so basically that means they buy at like a very low amount, right? Once people start buying these, they sell their initial investment for a large profit. So they're unable to do that because of the mechanism that Tomato introduced. And also, Tomato initially they wanted to collect I believe 1.5 or 2.5 million FIS, and they went over that by, like, as you can see here, by 4 million, right? For like 5 or 4 millions depending on the numbers. So again, there's another anti-dump mechanism and anti-will mechanism in place. So they are able to they're set to refund a percentage, a ratio of how much you bought back to you. Okay, so like so for it prevents people from, like, one person from buying something too big. Okay, so they could, like, if they bought like something like $100,000, they couldn't do that, right? Because they'll be refunded according to how much they bought. So there are these mechanisms in place, which in turn helps the token grows tremendously, as you can see here. So this is only a day, and then we haven't seen a stop to this coin right now. So let me just pull a user case scenario from one of our community members, Carlos, right? So Carlos, can I talk about your examples? Hello?
He may not be able to unmute, but I'm pretty sure Carlos is good with you.
All right. So let's see if I can remember the numbers. Sorry, I'm just gonna stop sharing, and I'm gonna try to pull up the numbers, okay? Give me 1 second. So here's the thing, right? So initially, Carlos was one of the community members who bought at the initial IDO phase for Tomato. So he invested 96 fist into tomatoes. Okay. So I know he's unable to share his screen right now, but we were just on the call earlier, and he was.
I can share. I can share now. My bad. I was on the phone.
Not a problem. You can share it right now, so I can tell everybody what this is, right? So if you have questions, right, you can write them in a chat, and we'll be able to answer them like later, or just keep following like the conversation. Maybe they'll get answered. So right now, if you look at Carlos' Tomato IDO page, right? So he invested 96 fifths in the project initially, and then so again, this is through a 200 days vesting period, releasing 0.5 percent per day. So right now you can see that Carlos has 13.9 tomatoes to be released, right? So that's per day, okay? That's per day. So if we calculate that, we're just gonna round it to a nearest whole number. So we're gonna take 14 tomatoes, right? So as we were just discussing, the tomatoes price was at $15 per tomato. So you take 14 and times that by 15, you get $210, okay? $210. So now 96 FIS, right? How much is the FIS right now? Like, how much is your investment? Right now, FIS is sitting at $1.6, right? So 96 FIS times $1.6, that's $153.6. So Carlos just got his investment back in one day. Okay, so he's gaining. As long as the tomato stays in that price range, right? Carlos was able to make his initial investment back of 153 FIS in 153 FIS. I mean 153 US dollars in one day. And he's even doing a lot better because he's gaining 210. So that's what, like 63 FIS over the initial investment within one day. Okay, so that's only the first day of the 200-day vesting period. Okay, so this is only the first day. So you times that per day earning, right? Obviously you kind of take an average, right? So the price is not going to stay the same, but the point is you invest into these IDOs and you make your initial investment back, and then whatever you get after is free rolling. Okay, so whatever you earn after is all earnings from that point on, right? So from the second day, Carlos is getting money from his initial investment. Like think about that. Just let that sink in for a moment. So for people who has invested into this tomato IDOs, right? Tomorrow we'll be able to, collect our earnings, collect our initial investments right away. That's how powerful it is. And even furthermore, Carlos, can you scroll down to the bottom? Although this is not the page, right? Like as you can see, there is an invitation, my invite address, right? So this is for the IDO. There's a different one for people who buys the token. We can share that address later. That's a different address. For people who wants to bring their family and friends in, they get a little bit of benefit from people who use your invitation address. So it's kind of like an invitation incentive. Okay, so you'll be able to earn a little bit of tomatoes if you invite people and they bought it with your link. Okay, so it's that simple. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. And then so the point the point is not just about tomato, but it's about FSTSwap in general, right? So stay in this community. We're able to hear news and other projects coming in, and then if you are able to catch on to these projects or able to get on these IDOs, these are very good investment opportunities. Okay, and they get a lot of returns, and even in such a short time. That's where what I see from this point. Obviously, David, he's a community leader. He's a community builder. He obviously is something a lot more from the community side. So David, why don't you talk a little bit about that aspect?
Yeah, I actually I think you guys got my heart in what we talked about earlier. It's just we're building a community to solidify our own investment in the future of the investment that we've committed to. And so these are really, really exciting projects because it shows us the project coming to life. You know, I've said over the last couple of weeks when we started this journey a year ago, this was all just an idea. There was no DEX, there was no output of an actual product. And today there's not just our product, our projects and our DEX, there are other developers and lots more coming that see the value of the community and all the things that we've worked together to build. So I really want us to do more of these calls where we get to just kind of get together, talk about what's happening in the community. There's a lot of projects that are going to come. We're not going to recommend necessarily any one of them, but obviously Max is doing a lot in terms of research. The team is testing them out and getting a sense of just how these things work. And so that we can then come back and have these conversations, invite you guys and those who you know to come in and participate in the project. It just gives us, it will ultimately give us dozens and dozens of things and avenues to invite others to participate in this project and really build a global community that attracts people based on all these different interests. And so really excited about where the project is now. Obviously, we're going to continue to talk about our core projects and our core tokens in the project and all of those things. We'll make space for that, but definitely want to continue to expand our conversations, invite you guys to be a part of the conversation, participate. We'll share some information about both of these projects in the Telegram room, but would love for those of you who want to participate, like reach out and let us help you, support you, play together, whatever it is that you need. Ultimately, the goal here is we want to make money, we want to have fun while we're doing it, and we want to invite others to do it with us. Open up the floor for any questions or thoughts or comments before we turn it over. Anyone at all? All right. Normally today's call is, hey Gino, normally today's call is hosted by Peter. While we're all here and we're all family, I just want you guys to send a shout out, big love, hugs, kisses for Peter, who is he's feeling his way back to his best. And just want you to know how much we love and support and appreciate you.
Sorry, it's Catherine. I couldn't get to my phone while you were asking there. Do we have any new news about our PG NFTs?
Max, you have anything?
Sorry, I've been also struggling with my health. I'm 12 days into COVID right now, so I have been out of touch.
Gotcha. Well, hope you feel better soon.
Yeah, me too.
Max, any new news on PG NFTs?
Oh, sorry, David. I was just grabbing a drink. I was talking. Give me 1 second.
Okay. We'll come back to that question in just a moment. Gino, you want to come in with your question?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Just quickly, thanks for the explanation about this new tomato, however you want to say it. Is there going to be like any help calls to get involved with this tomato? Because I have the link here, Max, and I wanted to sign up under you, but nothing seems to be working. So just wondering if this is all going to be part of the support calls, and is there a support call tomorrow afternoon?
There is a support call tomorrow afternoon, Peter. I'm not sure if you and Breezy would be in a position to do tomato. We can certainly hang out right now. I mean, we're very informal on today's call. Max, if you're up to it, and Gino, if you want to, we'll hang out right here and help you get going.
Did I just hear like invitation incentive coming my way?
Of course, Max. You've done so much for the community, man. Of course, I'm going to click under your invitation. You deserve it.
Oh wow. Obviously, any tomatoes are welcome. Like, although it's very little, like I was inviting like 600 bits worth of investment, and then I got 3 tomatoes back. It's free money, right? Like,
yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So if people have some questions regarding tomatoes, right? So we can obviously help, like if you guys post it in the chat, right? We can answer them, and then we'll be you know, a lot of people, I think couple of us, right, has participated in this project as well, and then they are able to answer some of the questions for you guys as well, for people who are interested. Obviously, we cannot advertise like these projects in the FSTSwap English channel, right? Because that is for the it's for the FSTSwap, right? So but we can definitely do that with our other like in our private chat or in another channel that, you know, we can do something else with that. But yeah, like in the future we can definitely help with people who are, you know, trying to buy these, trying to get their investment in on time. And then yeah, and then who was who was asking about like the PGNFTs here?
It was me, Catherine.
Oh, okay, Catherine, for the PGNFTs, right? There was so I'll be completely transparent with you, right, as with everybody here. So we initially I think back in April or May, right? If you've been following, they initially we partner up with the third party devs, right? And then they were we were going to work with them for PGNFTs, and then we also prepared 20,000 PGNFT designs for the blind box opening, right? But I think that bridge is broken, right? So we no longer work with that third party developer anymore. So right now the devs are, from what I've heard, right, the devs are working on their own for the PGNFTs. And then so far I think they're kind of they start working on, like, working with the PGNFTs right now with the designs and also the functions. And then also they are waiting. Okay. So this Catherine, are you familiar with you know, the I guess what happened in 407? I wanted to be completely transparent, right? So I want everybody to know. Are you aware of what happened during 407? Like April 7th?
No.
No. Okay. So basically, like, to get the gist of it, right? So we were originally a very big community, but there were some incidents and some people moved to another project. But right now, from what I heard, right, they still hold our NFTs, right, in their wallet. So but right now, they are starting another NFT project. They kind of requires our NFTs, right, to be in the other project. So I think, okay, this is my opinion. This is not the facts, so I can't confirm this, but I think the devs is waiting for the people who are left over to be in the for the people who are in the other project to move their NFT over, and then we can start ours. Otherwise, they're going to be leeching into our benefit. That's what I think. Okay, so just to be completely transparent.
Okay, now I'm even more confused. So we really don't know anything yet. We're just waiting on the developers to figure out how they're moving forward. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty much, right? So the last, like, whatever the official announcement, obviously by now we should be following Twitter for the official announcement, right? So since there are no official announcement for NFT, at least for a while now, right? The last time they announced this, any news about it was about like the NFT marketplace, I believe, and that was back in April or May, right? And then and then that's when we still had the collaboration with the third party debt, right? But since they have left and then they are doing their own projects and stuff, right? So I think there's just a lot more to be done. So think about like RDEF doing it was supposed to be 2 teams, right? Doing one project, but now one party has left. So our devs are shoulder with like two, like it's not 2 people, but like 2 teams of jobs, right? While doing like simultaneously doing other things for FSTSwap. Okay, so think about that. Like it's just there are a lot of things that they have to do, and I believe although they are very skilled, but again, this things takes a lot of just a lot of work, like a lot of work and a lot of hours, right? And then 20,000 is not a small number, right? Like if you go on OpenSea right now, like if you look at NFTs, right? The number usually you see like it's like a couple thousand, right? Like nowhere near the number as we get. So it's a lot of like the number is very great. I can tell you that. And there are a lot of work and behind the scene. We can only speculate, but like again, doubt, like whatever I said before was my opinion, right? It was my opinion, but like I personally don't know if that's true. That's what I've been hearing around, like other people talking about it. Okay, that's as much as I get.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
All
Any
right.
other questions?
Yep, Mike. Come on in, Mike.
Yes. So I've stumbled upon this, I guess through David. I know you through another project. So I thought I would join the meeting just to do some research. And I guess my true question is if you're zero or sub-zero about anything about FSTSwap, what would be your introductory pitch, or what's the community about on this project, if that's okay to ask?
I think that's a very valid question, right? Like our website would be one and David would be a second, right? He's awesome at, introducing our projects. He's been doing this all week. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Hey, Mike. So one of the places, and we'll drop it in the chat for you, is myfstswap.com. And just some brief history on this project. So we were first introduced to the project a year ago. And at the time, it was a project that we knew as Pangu. And it was a community that we were introduced to, primarily based out of China, but really large and well-respected community in Asia, hundreds of thousands of members. And for me personally, the thing that attracted me to the project was the idea that there were just a handful of people that had a vision about approaching the DeFi space differently than what we typically see. And that vision has ultimately evolved into the conversation that we're having here tonight. And so from 6 people, it became thousands of people that were initially focused on one token, which was called FIST. And we were told about a story of how FIST went from $50 in October of 2020 to over 8,000 in the spring of 2021. And in the summer of 2021, when we first got introduced, we started investing in a token called OSK at around $10 at the time that we first saw the project. OSK has gone as high as 800 plus and had a massive crash. A couple of our tokens, FIST and OSK, had a massive crash in February. And I say that freely, but because it was an important lesson for us. And this entire space, the project that we're in is in DeFi, decentralized finance. And at the core of DeFi is that it puts us, the user, in control of our assets. The asset never leaves your wallet. When you're in Binance or any other centralized exchange, that your crypto is technically in their wallets, in their control, in their custody. So here it remains in our custody, and we get to participate as a shareholder, as a banker. So much like when you open a bank account, you put your money in the bank account, the bank is going to take your money and everybody else's, and they're going to go out and invest it, make money with it. They're going to charge you fees for the luxury of doing so. And that's their business. That rakes in billions and billions of dollars every year. In DeFi and in this particular project in this space, we can take those same resources that we've been putting in bank accounts for decades, and we can put it into vehicles like what we're talking about here. So we can invest it in tokens, we can invest it in projects, and there's probably a dozen different mechanisms that we could talk about in terms of how you could participate. But really at the core of it, we're going to talk about liquidity pools is the kind of the underlying foundation. So liquidity pool is essentially, think about it as the bank. So the bank has a reserve, and everything that happens in the business of the bank comes from that reserve. In DeFi, the liquidity pool is essentially that reserve. And it's made up, in our project, it's entirely made up of the community. It wasn't funded by a group of developers that wanted to start a project. It's entirely funded by the distributed wallets of these hundreds of thousands of users around the world. And so that really is a solid indication about the strength of a project. And to give you some context on what that is, the same thing that attracted us to the project a year ago, I say long ago, that was a year ago. The same thing that attracted us then was the health of the liquidity pool. Once we understood that if the liquidity pool was strong, meaning that it was a nice sizable amount and it was well distributed amongst a lot of people, that really conveys consensus. There's belief here that I'm going to take my crypto, I'm going to lock it up in this smart contract, and I'm going to leave it there. And the reason people do that is because they earn fees, just like you would if you were a banker. And so you're earning fees by putting your funds in a liquidity pool. But people have to first be attracted to the project and the idea. And so Pangu was very successful at doing that, built massive liquidity pools, some of the largest on the Tron, on the FSTSwap network. And then the project moved to Binance Smart Chain, which is where we are today. And today, even after having sustained some massive drops in the values of some coins, we can talk about that in a moment, we're still some of the largest liquidity pools in all of DeFi, and definitely on the Binance Smart Chain. And so that's an important foundational understanding about why the project is really attractive to us, is that the community understands participation and commitment to the liquidity pool. And there's a bunch of benefits for being in the liquidity pool. So you're earning every time somebody buys or sells. If you've ever done that on a regular exchange, you're paying fees. That happens on a DeFi exchange, except we earn those fees. So by putting in my $100 or my $100,000, I'm earning a percentage of the total of the liquidity pool and all fees earned in it. And the liquidity pool, depending on its size, can earn anywhere from $25,000 a day and up. And so that's getting distributed amongst us. And then there are other places where you can invest in other elements of the project and farms and so forth, where there's an opportunity to earn double-digit, triple-digit percentages, APRs. So lots of exciting things, maybe a little bit more than we could actually dive into really deep today, but just kind of the broad overview is we were really attracted to the community's commitment to its own resources and its own vision. We've watched that evolve from being stories of what we were going to accomplish. We're going to build our own DEX. Well, today we have our own DEX. What we invested in a year ago got us to where we are today. And what we're investing in today is going to get us to where we're going tomorrow, which is the community is building its own blockchain. And so the DEX is kind of like, it's the equivalent of, say, your Binance or Huobi or crypto.com, Coinbase, that kind of thing. And whereas the blockchain is the equivalent of now your Ethereum and even Bitcoin, so to speak. And so that's the next evolution of the project. And we're currently mining the native token for that blockchain. It's called Fawn. And so there's a lot of activity and energy around Fawn. We're mining it for free by participating in a liquidity pool. And FIST, which we've talked about quite a bit here tonight, is the native token to our decentralized exchange. So everything that's on that DEX that's using the FSTSwap DEX is paired up with FIST. So the bigger we build this ecosystem of projects and developers that are using the FSTSwap ecosystem, the more utility that FIST token has, and long-term, the value of it, we anticipate will rise considerably. We've seen that happen with other DeFi exchanges, and we're so very early in all the evolution that's happening. So hope that, it's a super broad brush. There's a lot more detail that we could go into, but if somebody can drop the FSTSwap link, that'd be a great place. And then of course we can continue to powwow, join these calls. These are a great place to just pick up nuggets. It's going to be hard to grab it all at once, but this is a great place to just pop in and hang out with us.
Yes, I was interested because I currently mine, but I would say 1 year ago I was a complete novice, but I had participated in a coin called Gala, and that platform for over a year, and they are rolling out, it seems like very similar to some of the projects you mentioned, and I mine, so that's why what caught my attention to this. So I definitely think there's more here than I can absorb in an hour or two. So I would love to continue to participate in the community, and I guess continue to learn. So thank you guys.
Absolutely.
For your time.
Absolutely. Thanks for being with us. Come back Wednesday, where our next call comes up Wednesday, same time, 10 p.m. Eastern, and then we do another call on Thursdays. You know, a lot of what we've done and what we'll continue to do is really education based. And Thursday's call with Carlos is a lot of fun. He does videos, and we just kind of talk about different topics in crypto. These calls have been a great source of education and empowerment, and that's really how this community grew. For me, one of the things that attracted me was watching these the community in Asia come together for meetings, like in person, dozens of people showing up at these meetings and really engaged in the education of DeFi. And so we followed a similar path, and we get together, and this process has been incredibly educational, I know, for me, and I assume the same for most of the people on this call. So, and it's free. We get together, we talk, we learn from each other, and we're watching portfolios grow. I know in this community alone, there's been millions of dollars that have been made as a result of participating in this project.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, indeed. Hey, Gino.
How you doing? Yeah, good question there, and welcome to the community. I want to go back to what Max was saying about the NFTs there for a second, and you guys mentioned that there was only, at that time, there was like 20,000 max NFTs that you can purchase, the PGNLZ NFTs, PGNFT I should call them. So does that mean, looking at the liquidity pool at 128 million, you divide that by 20,000, we're left with 6,417 PGNFTs in our group. Is that the case at this present time? Because you mentioned they got to go through 20,000 artwork and all that stuff. If you divide the liquidity pool that's been locked in there, does that mean we're left with, in our group, 6,417 PGNFTs? Max?
Hey, I'm not exactly sure about the numbers, but I think there was a Twitter announcement right after they concluded the synthesized channel, right? So the final number we left with was 19,000 and some number, right? I can't remember the exact amount, but we didn't reach 20,000. Okay, so but we kind of reached the end of time, which is like what, April 31st, I remember. I can't remember.
I got that, Max. Sorry to interrupt. I got what you're saying 100%. No, what I mean is, if you look at, I've staked my PG NFT, and I'm sure most of you, everybody else has.
Right.
If you look at the liquidity pool that's staked, it shows 128 million. So that leaves us with 6,417 PGNFTs when you divide that by, let's just call it 20,000. And then there's people that haven't staked it. So now I'm thinking about that. So right now there's 6,417 staked PGNFTs in our group. That's a far cry from the 19,000, right? So I know people have left and went to the other group with the NFTs, but our group, for example, it shows 6,400. Is that a ballpark?
Wait, where are you seeing this number of from the liquidity pool? Are you talking about the farm or
Yeah,
like
in
where
the
are you
farm.
seeing this?
In the farm, yes.
In the farm. Okay,
Yes.
so there is there is something like if you check out the what's his face Elephant Pool, right? If you go to Elephant Pool, they have launched something that which you can stake your PGNFTs and then you get something called F-Box or something, and then there's some people who have staked their NFT in there as well. So if you have a look at that, is it says total stake for 200 NFTs. Okay, so 200 still doesn't add up the number that you're saying. I see what you mean.
Right, because it shows 128 million in the liquidity pool.
Right.
So it's just something for you.
Wait, can you run that back by me again? I'm not really sure how you get that number. Sorry.
No problem. So when you go to the farm and I go to my PGNFT that I've staked, it shows about 128 million. So I just took a round number of 20,000. I divided that by 20,000. That gave me 6,417 PGNFTs that were staked.
Gino, I think you gotta divide it by $9,000. That's the price that it's been valued at.
Oh, do I got to divide it by 9,000? Okay. Now I was actually dividing it by 20,000 holders.
Or 128. Because right now the market hasn't really been out. Like the number, right? It's kind of, let's see, if I divide that by 9,000.
Okay, Peter, if you're right, what you're saying, then that's 14,222. Okay. Yeah, PGNFTs that are staked right now.
That's the number I got to.
Okay. So maybe
that makes more sense.
Okay. So I did it wrong. Okay, thanks for clarifying that. So we have 14,222 PGNFTs staked, and you're talking about something now different. You're talking about people are moving them into the Elephant Pool and staking them. I see the Elephant Pool is offering a higher APR as well. So something to think about for everybody.
So if you take 14,000, right, you divide that by 20,000, and then you get the roughly like 0.71, which is roughly the number and like the percentage of the population that moved, I guess, in the first wave of 407, right? So that actually makes a lot of sense in terms of the number, right? Because we got like the 70% of the population over here on BSC, on FSTSwap, right? So that number actually made a lot more sense to me, if you get what I mean, right?
No, it's good because it shows how that's what I was concerned about. I was like, wait a minute, it's only 6,000 left in our group. Everybody went to the other group. No, it just shows that our group is still, no, it's good. It's good news for us holders that everybody's still here and a very small percentage left, which is great news. I'm really surprised that they haven't gotten to it yet. I know they're extremely busy, the developers. We're all just hoping that they get to it, right? Because we've all been waiting for the blind box and our own NFTs. It's exciting, right? So everybody's been waiting for that. So that's all. Okay, thanks for the clarification.
Definitely, it kind of like if you put it into perspective, like if you compare it with like our Jockey horse, right? We bought the NFT and we got it open right away, right? It seems kind of slow, but again, I think they're doing something a lot different. Like the in terms of NFT it's very different, and also it's just that I remember talking to David about the other side, right? And then they were, if I remember, if you look at their farms, right, they are consistently having 400% APRs for their token, for the DAO token, right? And then so think about that. They need to lock their, once they stake their token, they need to lock it for I think 9 months until they can take it out, right? But like 400% APR, it's not going to sustain. So think about once the staking is over, like once that 9 months period is over, and everybody start to take out their tokens and start to take out their earnings, and they start selling off their tokens, that it's a like it's a crash waiting to happen, right? Like it's very dangerous. Like when me and David look at it, right? It's not something that's sustainable, right? It's just, but it is what it is. And then the other group has since moved on to their own decks, right? They're no longer on FSTSwap, by the way. If you guys been following the news, I think Paul mentioned it in the AMA channels as well.
All right, good stuff. Okay, guys.
So-
Any questions?
Yeah, David, I just wanted to say, Thursday's call will be at 12. I have some good stuff going. I do want to share my screen, if you guys don't mind. This will be very quick. I sold my PGNFT. I sold mine, and this is what I got for it. So if you see the account there, no, I'm just kidding, guys. Totally kidding. I really wish that's what that was. I really wish that's what that was, guys. But I will say that I made a big keep wallet, and this came up, and I was about to call my job and quit. So I tried to cash out some of these coins. If you see the NRT and you see the P.io. So in the Thursday call, I teach, crypto education and ways that we could protect ourselves. Be very careful not to quit your job, because this is not 334 billion like I thought it was. So just wanted to share it with you guys. It looks sweet. It looks so sweet. Oh my God. But in essence, I only have 90 fist, 4 OSK, and $29 in USDT. So I do still have my PGNFT, as you can see there, it says 1. But just wanted to share that. You know that I always bring humor into the calls, so I wanted to bring a little humor right before, and just let us all dream. Let us all go to sleep and dream that our wallets will look like this one day.
Mm-hmm.
My mouth open. Okay, Carlos. What? I was gonna bash you.
I just want to piggyback on that positivity, Carlos.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to say yes. That's the spirit, because when we first started, I remember we were talking about the positivity and the good attitude that can break us or make us, right? And I have come to learn that good attitude at the individual level can make us or break us. And in a group, it's even more powerful, make us or break us. So I just want to encourage each and every one of us to keep the good attitude, to keep positive vibes, because with positive vibes, with good spirit, we can overcome any situation. Even if the things are not moving the way we want right now, if we believe and put good vibes in what we believe in, we're gonna overcome and turn situations around. Even the people that are not really believing in what we believe in, if we have faith and if we really keep, bringing good vibes and positivity, we're gonna change the situation, or a better opportunity is gonna come to us. So that's all I wanna. I wanted to just jump on what you just said right now, saying one day we're gonna wake up and our wallets are going to be looking, like the numbers we just saw right now in terms of billions. We're gonna, move past millions and talk in terms of billions. So that's what I want to say tonight to everyone. To keep good vibes and not negative vibes, because it affects all of us. Because now you have a group karma, right? We have a group karma. So my karma will affect yours. And if I'm bringing negativity, then I don't want to bring that to you, because it's not fair to you. And then I don't want Carlos or anybody else to bring that. I got to think about others, how my action and my thinking affects others. So when we're in a community, we have to be mindful of that. And what we're looking for here is to be successful. And we cannot be successful if we keep talking about negative and encouraging others to see the negative on things that we want to change our financial future. Okay, so that's all I want to say tonight. And then thank you for listening.
Thank you. And listen, I want to say, just to take those words, I'm going to tell you, if David, Paul, Peter, and Breezy, and I'm just going to use those guys for example, because I feel like when I stand on their shoulders, I'm like standing on shoulders of giants, because they've done things first in the community. They've done things, they've lost, and I don't mean to put everybody's business out there, but Peter, Paul, David, Breezy, they've tried different things that didn't work and didn't bring it to the community because they want to protect the community. And they've literally been guinea pigs in the sense of going out there and exploring, doing things, and then coming back to us and saying, hey, you know what, this, based on tokenomics, based on Telegram activity, based on developer reputation, like they do their homework, right? So I know for a fact that if they had a negative attitude, the first 2 or 3 projects that failed, we wouldn't be here right now, because they would have gone home already. They would have taken their licks, taken their punches, and quit. And I admire all 4 of those people, Breezy, Peter, Paul, and David, because they've taken licks and come back and said, I learned from that project. I'm going to move on to this project. I learned from this project. And every time we learn from a project, we literally get stronger. Every time I teach a class on Thursday about things that we should know in crypto, I get smarter, stronger, more confident. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for this community. Because when I first came here, I was just quiet and I listened and I was intimidated. And I was just like, all I could do was be a sponge. Let me be the best sponge that I could be in this community, because that's all I can offer. At this moment, I can offer being an amazing sponge. Let me be the best I can. And I think that we all start in a place like that until we start either gaining confidence or we start experimenting ourselves, because at the end of the day, nobody's pressing buttons for you. You're pressing your own buttons, you're taking your own chances, and you have your own tolerance level, and you're doing your own research. So continue to do your own research, continue to learn. I'm pretty sure DeFi Max, as knowledgeable as he is, if he's here with us and he's not in a yacht and he's not gone, he's learning just as we are. and he's taken his licks just as we have. Am I right, DeFi Max? Have you not taken a few licks from a few projects? If you can share that in two sentences.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have been if you guys know what honeypot is, and I've been like duped before. I learned from those. But that was a very expensive lesson. That cost $600. But that was lesson learned. For those of you who are looking at Carlos's funny amount of money in his wallet, right? That's from the airdrop. That I did the same thing before. I tried to sell them. So their token either have like ridiculous taxes, like 99% sell tax, or you can't sell the tokens at all, like a honeypot. you put your hand in them and you get stuck. So you're able to sell it. So I did my fair share. So definitely.
Yeah, thank you, Max. So with that said, just remember you're in a community. Listen, I'd rather have more wisdom than experience, because in experience, I have to go through things, I have to lose money. In wisdom, I get to learn from Max's wisdom. I get to not be in the honeypot and say, hey, Max, when you get a chance, tell me what to look out for so this doesn't happen to me. And that's the beauty that we have in this community. We have people who are taking experiences and turning them into wisdom. So I'm extremely happy to be part of this community. So thank you, Max. Thank you, David. Thank you, Breezy. Thank you, Peter, and Paul for doing the things you do and trying the things you try, and not being happy with being complacent, not being happy that, that you have 2 or 3 tokens, or you have 2 or 3 projects under your belt, but continuing to explore, continuing to involve us. Like if you kept all of your wisdom and experiences as a secret, none of us would learn, and that's a selfish approach. So the fact that you take your time to do this, the fact that DeFi Max is out here taking this time on a different time zone, it's 11:30 in the morning over there. So thank you, DeFi Max. I really appreciate and love this community because of that. And this is why I stick around. This is why I give up my time. And this is why I want to learn with you guys, because I'm on a journey and I'm enjoying the journey. I'm not just looking for the destination. I mean, what happens when I get $1 million? Do I leave you all? Do I stop coming to the calls? When I reach 1 million? I don't think that's going to happen. I think this is a journey, and I'm enjoying the journey as we go along. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Edwidge. Great ways to end the call. By the way, DeFi Max is your neighbor up north. Where are you, Max? You're in Canada, right?
Yeah, I'm in Toronto.
Toronto.
I believe Peter is as well, right?
Yeah.
Is he? Yeah. So we're kind of neighbors.
So am I, Max.
Yeah, you're from the 6?
Yeah.
Well, 905.
905. All right.
All right, guys. Great call tonight. Thank you for everybody for hanging out with us. We'll be back again Wednesday night. We'll have a little bit of a more formal opening overview of the project, and then we'll jump in and hang out and talk some more about the project. Please come back, join us, bring some guests. One of the things, just real quick, guys, I want to encourage this core group that's here on the call with us. Most of you guys are always here with us. I want you to understand part of what's happening in the project is we've already expanded beyond this call. So there was a time in the project when we wanted to fill up this call, and certainly that's still part of what we'd like. We'd like to see people participate on the call because it's great information and so forth. But part of what we're doing is approaching other communities. And so instead of bringing the community and the people to us, we're taking the project to people who are already meeting with their communities and introducing it in that sense. So I say that to encourage each of us on the heels of what we heard from both Edwidge and Carlos, and that when those people who are interested in learning more about this project and they come to our Telegram, to our calls, the more that you're able to be of assistance and, and provide guidance, testimonials, context, it's all going to help. So just want you guys to know that there's a lot happening that isn't about the numbers that you see right here in front of you, but your being here is super, super important. So thank you all. Look forward to seeing you guys again on Wednesday.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
Good night,
David.
Thank you,
everybody.
David.
Thank you, DeFi
Thank you,
Max.
David. Thank you,
Good night,
Carlos.
Thank you,
everybody.
Max.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night,
Good night.
everyone.
Peter, feel better. Peter, Catherine, feel better.
Yeah, Peter, Catherine.
Thanks, guys.
Doris, keep racing that horse.